Yeah, my name is Scott LaBounty. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for Broadcast and Video. I oversee all of our video operations here at the University of Oregon. That is all of our video board shows, our broadcasts that we do on the Pac-12 network, basically all of our in-venue shows, our live streams, everything to that extent. I've been doing this for about now almost 10 years here at the University of Oregon. And have grown a department to facilitate a centralized control room that offers the ability to broadcast and do anything we need from that centralized control room to all of our venues.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your setup and production setup?
Yeah, we have a Ross switcher that we do a lot of our big shows on. And we have two Grass Valley dynos that we use for a replay. And we have a Yamaha little audio mixer that we do for a broadcast. And then we have, trying to think of what else. We use Hitachi cameras to do a lot of our main games. Depending on where we're at, we will either run them as a triax camera or we will swap the backs and use them as a SMPTE camera. But it all comes to that home run of the control room and everything that is entailed there.
Okay. And so you're doing streaming. As I understand it, you're also working with the networks to provide video and such for them as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we stream about, I would say, close to 100 events a year. Whatever's not on TV, we will stream it. Generally, it's anywhere between 1 to 4 camera shows. And then we have done the last, I think, 6-7 years now, we have been working with the Pac-12 network, and we do a model called school-produced broadcast, which means that we produce the broadcast to the network out of our control room. So everything we do, we provide technical director, replay, all the camera operators, all the behind the scenes is what we provide as a school produced model. And then they bring in a producer and talent to make the flavor of their show.
Okay. So if a Fox or one of the other networks come in for a big football game or whatever, are they using your hardware or do they bring in their own?
For the bigger shows, they'll definitely bring in their own truck. This is specifically just for Pac-12 network that we do 100% of. Last year was the first year we actually did an ESPN Plus model for one of our smaller sports, acrobatics and tumbling. We did do that where we had our own talent. We had our own producer and director that we did the acrobatics and tumbling championships on the ESPN Plus channel.
Okay. You said you're using Hitachi cameras, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. They're like a ZH5000 series, but we switched the backs from our arena that we do. 90% of our work at is all triax, and then when we go outside of the facilities, we'll take the Hitachi cameras out to our other venues and we'll run them as SMPTE backs.
Okay. And so you're doing how many sports approximately?
We do football as a video board show. We do both men's and women's basketball. We do volleyball, soccer live streams. We do baseball and softball. And then we, very, very small, but we'll do tennis as a streaming as individual courts via IP cameras.
Okay. Thinking strictly from a video point of view, are there particular challenges that you've faced or are still facing, I guess, that you've had to deal with?
Currently right now, I think the biggest struggle for us right now is just technology, kind of outpacing where we're at with our infrastructure. We're still in what I would call a little bit older technology, and would love to get to a better state. But obviously, what we have, those are some challenges of trying to handle multiple events at a time when the facility we're kind of at is basically built for the arena only. So we've been able to kind of grow a little bit to add on those other venues to bring them online to be able to do broadcast and video in stadium shows.
Is there anything that you found in particular that has worked well for you that, if somebody asked on the street, you would share with them?
The probably the best thing for us right now, for what we're able to do is having access virtually at times to be able to get ourselves in a place where we can flip a switch without having to be in our control room, to be able to put a graphic up on a video board without having to step foot in that venue remotely, has actually been a huge blessing and has benefited us greatly in being able to handle the requests and workload that we deal with.
Okay. On the audio side, are you involved with the PA system, or is that a different department or a different set of people?
I work with them, but it's a kind of a different group to some degree, but we work together because obviously we're audio and video. So we do a lot of coordinating of what we deal with. We have our own audio system that we run through specifically when we're doing a broadcast. But when we need to do our in-venue shows, they're the ones who handle a good majority of our in-venues, while when we're doing a broadcast, we solely handle our audio on our own.
Okay. I believe you said you were using a little Yamaha mixer. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's an older model Yamaha. And I think it's I think a 32 input
Okay.
Yamaha. Not what I call little, but obviously it works for our broadcast to bring in all the mics and play-by-plays and everything else that we need.
Okay. Are you using any, special add-ons, equalizers, compressors, things like that?
No, one of the bigger things that we deal with our audio purposes now is we've moved over to doing a lot with Dante Audio to get us to get our feeds where we need to get them to, and when we're out in the field, getting our audios back to our main controller via Dante.
Okay. Again, as far as audio, are there any particular microphones that you're taking advantage of?
We generally are using the Sennheisers for our ones that we use, whether they're little shotguns or little longer shotgun mics that we put out on the court and on the floor to get our audio out there.
Okay. Again, speaking of audio, are there any specific challenges or difficulties you've faced?
I think the biggest thing is when we went into this venture with broadcasting, we weren't really set up to do the audio that we are used to doing from an in-venue side. So basically bringing it in to do it ourselves without that other group that does our in-venue, kind of figuring out what's the best way to do it to get everything done as if we are a TV truck, which we are. That I guess is our biggest challenge of getting that up and running and making it work efficiently.
Okay. So in your overall production, when you think about your overall production, are there any weaknesses or challenges that you're still facing and trying to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, we're in the spot where our room is kind of tapped out. We've pushed it to the limits, so we're at a point where we need to kind of continue to expand and be able to take in more, upgrade some equipment to better be more efficient. I like the idea of being more efficient, and right now I see that we could be a lot more efficient if we're able to get some other added gear and pieces that would help make our jobs a lot easier.
So largely hardware challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of a broad question, but if you had your unlimited budget, what would your perfect hardware setup look like?
Definitely starting to look at an idea of IP based. I think what we're going with the additional sources of Dante and being able to really hit home with that, having a router that we can remote control without having to step foot in the room and switch patching without having to necessarily go and do hard patches. I think that's that's the ultimate goal and the dream to really get to that stage where we can, do it as much automated as possible, where, we can flip a switch and have our audio go where it needs to go, flip a switch, have our video where it needs to go. Doing as much to prepare. Obviously, coming off a pandemic, you kind of learn some new things as far as what you could be doing and how you can make this more efficient when you do have people who do call out sick or who are sick, and how we can, pivot to someone who hasn't been in that position and how you function that way.
Okay. Well, Scott, I appreciate your time and coming and speaking with me this afternoon. I think it's interesting to hear how different schools are dealing with different challenges and just different setups that everybody uses. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.